terms of everything that you are trying to do with this team this year, meld everything together, was Friday one of the biggest wins that a group of yours has ever had?
Yeah, I mean, I just love the grit that we had, and you coach a lot of games. You have certain games that you just like, wow, like this is who we are. This is what we're trying to become, and that was probably one of them where our style of play found a way for us to win the game, and the guys, even down late, we kept trying to do what we do, and that's where the style of play and the grit that we have got a great win on the road, without a doubt. We've really improved throughout the year. Players have just really, the term I sometimes say is star in their role. Just do what you can do to impact winning. And if you do that and you're all about that, it's amazing the impact you have on your teammates and the game. And I just saw a lot of that the other night.
And I asked you about a week and a half ago about the difference between winning with a big home crowd behind you or silencing a road crowd. Does Friday change your answer on that at all?
I mean, I love playing on the road because it's just your team. There's a lot of bonding that goes on the road. Conversations, you have moments with your team. And when you go to a hostile environment, arena, it's fun. I don't care what anyone says. That if you're a competitor, it's fun. So, and our guys will compete. And we don't always play perfect. Sometimes it's ugly, but we compete. And you saw that in that environment. It was really cool.
Your press towards the end on Friday, very, very effective. And I know it's situational and against different teams and scouts and all that other stuff, but would something like that cause you to go to it a little bit more now, seeing what it can do, and the guys have seen what it can do?
No, maybe at times, but we do what we do. I as much as people will talk about the steals in the press, it's a cumulative effect. It's continuous pressure on the ball. It's continuous stunning and messing with the other team, not letting them get the ball over half court easily, trapping, running through passes, but as much as it is pressure on the ball, not letting them get into their offense early in the clock or anytime. Just being there. And, I think we get turnovers and deflections in the half court, which we take great pride in. But then when you do extend that to 94 feet, it just becomes another weapon for us. And it's just what we do. Like, people always ask me about the press and what do you do differently here and there. We make some adjustments, but to us it's just the constant pressure of each dribble, of guys not catching it cleanly, of when you catch the ball in inbounds and turn around, oh man, here they are again. That's the cumulative effect that we want all the time. And people say, some people say it's the pressure isn't intense or they don't trap as much, but then in one game it is as intense and we trap different places on the court. So the guys have done a really good job, this group, of picking their spots in it, but also making sure we get back and playing sound half-court defense.
How much has Coach Martin changed what you have to prepare for coming in tomorrow night with this program?
Oh, a lot. I mean, they have a lot of really good players. They have some new players. They're really big and physical and strong. They're a whole different setup than they were in the past, for sure. They play a lot of guys, and they're talented players, and they play really hard. So, I mean, we got our hands full for sure, but it's another great 8-10 opportunity for us, and they'll be ready to play, that's for sure.
So the team has had its struggles in the past, starting off hot by falling behind early, but they start to ramp up the pace to come back even after high deficits. What do you say to the guys about this because of the slow starts that transition into fast-paced offense once they get into the groove?
Yeah, how about we start those fast-paced starts on the tip? That's been a concern of ours and something we keep addressing. And we change the lineup a little bit, change up a little bit offensively early in the game, but yeah, it's almost like we're trying to get in a little bit of a flow to get going. And now, we've been down double digits early too many times. It's something we got to really, it's still on the forefront of our minds here. Like with that, we've gotten too many holes this year, and you keep doing that, it bites you. And it's already hurt us this year in results, and we got to continue to address it and work on it for sure.
Another thing that has been brought up was the three-point shooting other teams have been allowed to shoot against the black and gold. The Rams are very good at initiating presses that lead to high turnover rates, but sometimes it leads to wide open opportunities, specifically in the corner. What did you say to the guys to help them get into the groove and preventing the three-point shot from falling, like against three-point shooting teams like Davidson earlier, and also Chicago, who has some good shooters too?
Yeah, well, number one, in general, we want to limit the number of three attempts, not just make a miss, but limit the numbers. And with new guys and some guys changing roles, it hasn't been as good as other teams in the past. It's improving. It's gotten better. We still have a ways to go, but the mindset of not getting in the rotation, keeping the ball in front, not getting in the rotation limits threes. So I think we've improved on that. Statistically, we've improved on that, but I just think guys haven't seen it every day in practice, have better feel of that. So, when you do press, there's some things that you're gonna at times give up. At times know that you're playing the statistics. At times you're playing the analytics. Sometimes we're gonna give up a corner three if they throw it out of the press. We know that. We run it down. We know how to sometimes combat that. But every team has a plan and all that stuff. So, you're exactly right that the corner three at the end of the press, if they beat our press, is something at times we give up. We're getting better at running that down, running through that pass. But it's something we address all the time. I just think we've done a better job of limiting threes. We got to continue to do that, especially with really good players who can score. Don't let them get going early in the game making some threes, because that's when you have career nights and that's when guys get going. So it's huge. You're exactly right. It's not exactly where we want it to be, but it's gotten better. Just I think because our guys have gained experience and understand the importance of it.
Mike, David Schreier has been big for you the last few games. Was he shooting well in practice and it just not translating to games, or what was going on with him?
Yeah, I think sometimes he just gets so mad at himself, disappointed in himself that he misses, because he just thinks he's going to make every shot, that I don't think he lets it go sometimes. And I always say you got to sort of have great shooters have amnesia, miss or make, move on to the next one. And I just think he's done. Number one, he's just more comfortable with what we're doing. He's never played defense the way we have and played as hard as we do. That's been a huge adjustment for him and some of the new guys, but it's taken him a little bit of time. I think the shooting part of it is, I think he was putting so much pressure on himself that I'm here to be a shooter, I got to make every shot. It's the other way around. Take really good shots and they'll start falling. And then when they start falling, you just get great confidence. So I think that's where he's at. But I've been impressed with his effort and his approach. It's not surprising that it's led to him shooting the ball so well. But since he came here, he's given himself to us and he's worked really hard. And he's just more comfortable in everything we do, and he's finding his spots. I think he's doing a good job moving without the ball, of getting some more open shots, and his teammates are finding him.
Nick Kern, you've started in the past few games, I assume more for defense to try to help you with the better start. What does he bring to the table?
Yeah, he's all in. He stars in his role, toughness, plays really hard, defense, finding loose balls, getting steals, attacking the rim, and getting the ball to the paint, and getting guys shots or getting the ball moving. And he's very selfless out there. And I just think he gave us a shot in the arm, put him in the starting lineup, and he's taken defensive assignments personal. And you want guys like that, and I think that's been huge. So he's still a sophomore. He's still learning, but he really listens, he's really coachable, and he knows why he's in there. I'm in here to give us a spark, energy, toughness, flying around, and you've seen that the last couple of games.
He's giving you some offense, too.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's a great cutter, he can finish, he's really good in the open court. and he's improving. He works on his game too. When you have an open mind and you're coachable and you work on your game, it helps you play better, and he's been a great example of that.
You mentioned kind of wow thing, and maybe turning the corner a little bit. You've been improving all year. How do you build on this from these past few games?
Keep talking about it. Keep talking about why we've done what we've done. Keep practicing to get better, not practice just to get to the next game. And that's hard at this time of the year for everybody. You're looking at who we play next. All right, we got to get ready. But as we prepare for opponents, it's still about how much better can we get this week. I think that's really important with this group, especially because we have a lot of young guys that are playing. And as much as we want to be prepared for the next game to win that, if you keep getting better, that's going to help you. That's going to help you in the long run. It's still a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we like to sprint during our marathon and have great pace. But I still think if we continue to try to get better each week, individually and as a team, it just keeps you more, better prepared for the next opponent. So, I think some guys have been great examples of that, and that's why they're playing better. So, hopefully that can continue.
It seemed like when we were talking earlier about the whole 3-point percentage and things like that, it seems that it's definitely been getting better because you guys are coming off a season high, 31 points off of turnovers, and then you guys really sat down in the second half of the Dayton game and really came up with some big stops at the end there. So I just wanted to know your thought process on that, and how does it feel that it's starting to work out a lot more?
Well, I think we're improving in different aspects, and then that's of course helping us in result. Offensively, we're just more comfortable. I think we're taking less quick shots. We're assaulting the paint. We're getting to the foul line. That's helped us get our offense going. Don't turn the ball over is the key. Get a shot every time down, and still not where I want it to be. I'm not sure it ever will be, but it's gotten better. I think guys are making the right play instead of trying to force to make a play, and that just comes with experience. I think that's helped. I agree with you defensively. We've had some individuals improve and play our type of defense, and I think that has helped. It's still not where we want it to be, but it's improving. We got to rebound better, but I think different aspects throughout the year we've improved that, and guys become more comfortable in their roles and in our scheme, and that's why we're having some good results.
Right, and question going in the past, how did you think the non-conference play helped you with experience to help you to this point?
Well, if you play a good non-conference schedule, it exposes you to some of your weaknesses, some of your faults. So we learned that in November and early December, and then learning it, Friday night. I think that's one reason why you play good teams, and you always want to play teams that replicate some of the styles in your league. That was important. There was teams that really spread the court and cut really hard, like some teams in our league that shoot a lot of threes, and some other teams that may change up their defenses and really throw the ball inside. That's part of our scheduling ideas to prepare you for A-10 play. But just good teams, good, well-coached teams that we can play neutral on the road and here. It just prepares you for it. So that's always important. But I think the non-conference has really helped us. It has exposed us a lot, what we got to get better at, how we have to handle things, and I think that's helped us. But we got a long way to go.
Ask you one question about Friday, and
Sure.
Rivalry aside, playing a team that already has done what you guys did Friday and have a huge comeback, and how that not only helps your team but can help any team as you go along, because you always point back to that and say you've done it once, this can happen again.
Yeah, your best teacher is experience, right? What you went through, and that Richmond was down 22 to Duquesne, and they believed in what they do, and they stuck to how they play, and they come back and get a great win. And we did that the other night on the road at Dayton, where you're down a lot and you stick to what you do because it works. Even when you're in a hole, find a way to get out of that hole and give yourself a chance to win. So those experiences, are the greatest teachers for you, and give you the greatest belief if it happens again. Hey, we've been here we've done it. Let's see if we can figure this out and do it again. So they're your best teachers.
And for a change, you don't have to prepare for like Grant Golden and the other guys that were there for 15 years.
Yeah,
They have other
some of those guys were here when I got here. Yeah, new faces. Coach Mooney's done a great job with the group of guys. He's got some guys playing different roles like us, and some new guys, some high school guys, some transfer guys that are really contributing and helping them win, and they can really score the basketball, and they have some guys that can really guard, and I think they have different guys on different nights really step up for them, and that's huge when you're moving along in the season, because you're going to ask different guys to step up, and we'll have our hands full for sure, and going over there is always a real tough environment, but what a fun college basketball game and atmosphere we'll be excited to play in.
So I was talking to DeLoach earlier, and he said that he can benefit by staying in the game longer but not fouling as much. And I was noticing in the Dayton game, when he was going against Holmes, he was doing a great job in just keeping his hands up. It might not show in the box score, but he was doing a great job just staying in the paint and being able to stop him from.
Yeah, we don't win that game without JJ, without a doubt, and I thought his presence early in the game around the rim was huge for us to say that not that you can guard those guys every play because they're pretty darn good, but just making it really hard for them, and I thought he's maturing. I mean, he's an emotional, immature player, and I'm not saying that as a fault. I'm saying that most young guys are, and he's so competitive, and his competitiveness sometimes gets him in foul trouble or gets him out of position because he thinks he can make a play all the time. He's learning with experience, and some of that experience is positive. Some of it is getting in foul trouble. He's holding himself accountable and I got to improve on that to help the team win. And just we call it square ups. When you're guarding in the post, you don't throw your hands down. You got to be really disciplined. And it's hard because you're dealing with all that physicality. But he's improving at it, and the longer he stays out in the court, the better our defense is. And he's doing a good job this year of scoring around the basket and finishing and getting his hands on the ball. The last play of the game at Dayton, he had great discipline there to make the guy miss, but also to go pursue the basketball. So he's just getting better and better. He's a sophomore. Right. He's a young cat, and he's getting better and better, and he's maturing, and he's going to continue to hold himself accountable to play at that level more and more. He's going to become a really good player for us.
Does it help to have someone like Johns Jr., who came transferred in, has a lot of experience in big games, to come in and be able to be kind of like that veteran presence?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And last year he had Levi to help him, and this year, Brandon Johns came in and he's made a great impact on our program. He's a great teammate. He helps the guys. I think the best thing for JJ and our young big guys is Brent Scott, our big man coach, because Big B, as we call him, has been a coach for a long time, but he played professionally for 14 years. He knows the ins and outs of that position and gives them little ideas, even in the middle of a game, because he sees the game differently than maybe a coach that was a guard, and he's helped JJ tremendously. And when JJ really listens and grasps onto that, it really helps him right in the moment, without a doubt. And he's got to continue to do that.
Mike, one more question about Schreier. How did you find out about him? How did you know about him?
We knew some coaches at Hartford that coached him, and when they're having their transition from Division I to Division III, some of those guys were leaving, and I wanted a shooting foreman, and he's a shooting foreman. So just that connection there helped us get in the door a little bit, but then just Jamal did a great job of getting to know he and his family, and we spent some time with him and got him down here for a visit, so it worked out great.
Did their guys reach out to y'all? You remember?
I don't remember. It was one of their assistant coaches who worked for one of our guys, and so that sort of started that, coaching connection. Yep.
This is kind of a side note question, but how does it feel to go to some away games and see a good amount of VCU fans there, like especially Chicago?
Awesome, right? Chicago, I mean, I thought they might have had their own plane. It was great, and even we had a small group at Dayton, but they were right behind our bench, and they were loud, and they stayed around afterwards. So, I always say Ram Nation travels. It doesn't matter where. I know some people drove from here to Chicago and then got to Dayton as well. It just tells you the type of fans we have. And I think our fans, they love their Rams, and they'll do some crazy things like drive in the winter to go see us play, but they're loud and they're like us. They want to win and they care about our guys. So Ram Nation travels, and we're very proud of it.
Now, you're currently at the top of the table in the A10, so I just wanted your opinion on future games in the future, just like the game tomorrow and things like that. Just a little.
Well, if you stick around here long enough,
Yeah.
you'll realize I don't look ahead one day. I am in the moment when it comes to our next opponent, our scouting. I don't look at the next game until our game is over tomorrow night. That's just how I've always done it. I believe in that. Others have different ways they go about it, but that's just the way we do it. The next game and the next games down the road, they get bigger if you take care of what's in front of you. That's fact. I believe in that, so that's how we'll always be. Now, if you win that game, the next one becomes bigger. That's what's the fun of being at a place like VCU and trying to go and win the next one. But I am where my feet are, and the only thing that we can do and impact is prepare for a good practice today to play a really good UMass team. That's it, and that's how it's always been.
Focus on the one ahead, right?
You got the one in front of you, without a doubt.
Were you guys in on Jason Nelson at all?
Yeah. We just had there's kids you like in classes for sure, and you recruit, but then when you get to decision time, you may have too many guards or too many big guys and stuff like that. So, that's part of recruiting. But you recruit good players, and then you figure that out from there, and you go on some guys, and you don't.
How much easier, abstract question, but how much easier will recruiting get now that this COVID bonus year is finally cycling itself out, just from top to bottom, just for teams that don't have to worry about, is this kid going to stay? We're trying to recruit, but we don't know how many scholarships we're going to have.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even think a lot of coaches are thinking of it that way. Just because the transfer portal, people are going to leave, and you're going to go get other guys. I mean, the transfer portal is when it's going to dictate your roster every year. So, I don't want to lose anybody, but if we lose guys, you're going to have to go get others. So, I understand that kids have got extra years, and that impacts the roster, but the portal impacts it more because you could be looking for 0 guys or 5 guys and drop them a hat, and that's all over the country, and that's in a lot of sports now.
What's your philosophy on portal and how you recruit now, as far as recruiting high school guys?
Well, I still believe in high school development, finding guys in high school that could be really good players for you. I do believe in that, but like the group of guys we brought in from the transfer portal, if there's some players out there that fit your culture, fit your program, and fill your needs, and they get eligible right away. I mean, you have to look at it. And there's some guys that we recruited out of high school that might have went to different schools that you can get on the rebound. Brandon Johns is somebody we recruited, and he had an awesome spring and summer and blew up. And I went to see Zeb in high school. And then he, of course, blew up and went to Power 5 schools. So, we're not going to negate that. We're going to look at that. But there's some other guys out there that, if they fill our needs and they fit our program, they can help us win, we'll definitely look at it. But we're not living in there and not looking at high school kids, because there's some really good high school kids out there we want to be a part of our development program and have a plan for them. I think that's really important. All right, guys, got to go to practice.